Okay. Um, Looks like we had a slight technical issue with our countdown video there, guys. But it's time for us to kick off. So, hello everyone, and welcome to today's Farmer Office Hours. I'm Jim. I'm the head of Community at Autonomys, and I want to start by thanking each and every one of you for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us today. Your presence and engagement are what make these calls so valuable and help us drive the project forward. Up on stage with me today are a number of team members. We have Randy, our technical community manager. We have Ryan, oh, I'm catching my surprise, our social community manager. We have Emil, our developer community manager, and we have Pradeep, our ambassador community manager. And once again, we are very lucky to have Daria, our head of protocol engineering, joining us again, as we're going to be having some more fun rehearsing our Mainnet Phase-1 launch, of course. And as you can see, we are streaming again. You can catch us today on YouTube, on X, on LinkedIn, all at the same time as you prefer. Please do feel free to ask any questions you may have in the chat on any of these platforms. They should appear in our streaming software. We're still learning. But note that we know that many of our farmers hang out in Discord. And for that reason, we will also be monitoring the event chat channel. It's quite high up in the channel list if you want to ask questions over there. Okay. Quick reminder of our socials. So for those of you who might be new to our community or need a quick reminder, don't forget to follow us on these channels. We are at AutonomousNet on X. Our Discord links are there. You can find them on our website as well, autonomous.xyz. The forum, of course, and all these platforms are a great way to stay informed between the calls we hold. And our X account at the moment is positively on fire, so please do check it out. Okay, so let's take a quick look at the agenda. First, Randy will kick us off with our regular look at the state of the network. Then we'll launch straight into kicking off the micro space race. I know that's the main event. I'll be delivering the latest updates to the Mainnet Phase-1 launch timeline and also the exact mechanics of the Mainnet space race. We'll get a big bang update from the community team before we check in with our micro space race and move into our regular open Q&A. So as usual, and without further ado, let's hand over to Randy for State of the Network. Randy, can you take it away, please?
Thank you, Jim. Hello, everybody. So as most of you know, the testnet is kind of winding down here as more people drop out and prepare for mainnet. Our node count finally had the big drop that we were expecting. It's down to 1755, which is about 62% less than the last time we had this. Space pledge is down to just under 9 petabytes. That's 13% less. It's been a little while since we had a new version, day after our last Farmer Hours, but it's October 10th is the latest one. And that one only had a pretty small fix, and that was support for small GPUs like the RTX 3060 that were previously producing invalid sectors. As for hot topics, really there's been a lot of talk about people getting their hardware set up for mainnet. We do have some people coming on for the first time asking questions, so that's great to get some new blood there. And one thing to talk about is AMD GPUs on Windows. Now, Nazar has been in contact with AMD engineers, and they have confirmed that consumer GPUs are not working for us on Windows. For now, that means that AMD GPUs are not supported for just Windows, even WSL. However, support is likely coming in the future. That's it for me. Thank you, Jim.
Thanks, Randy. Okay, so moving on, the micro space race. So Daria. Okay, so I have a little preamble for us. So as you can see on our slide, we're going to be following the same format as the nano space race, which we held 2 weeks ago today. We're going to kick things off right now. Then we'll have a check-in just before the Q&A, and then we'll take one final look before we take things async into Discord. Because today is a bit different, of course, to the nano space race. Today we're going to be rehearsing the data seeding phase as well, and I believe we're going to have a higher target set. Daria, do you want to let us know the parameters you're going to set on the test network today?
For the space race, well, yeah, I don't know. Like, I still cannot decide. It's like, on one hand, I wanted to have something like that's easily achievable within a few hours, so we know it works. On the other hand, if this gets stable, is going to be our permanent test net, and we really want people on it to be able to test things. And hopefully, this is going to be the one where we're going to run Stake Wars in, so we want to have some space in there. So I'm really torn. I don't know. We can leave it to people in Discord to suggest some comments, because anyway, that's gonna be a little later, because we're also going to be doing the seeding, and that's probably going to take a couple of hours. So I'm not going to be kicking it off on the call right away. But yeah, need to decide. Hopefully, let's try to decide by the end of the call.
So I've said it before, Daria, I'm not envious of the weight on your shoulders with the network parameter decisions. Okay, so moving on, we won't dwell on this slide too much right now, as I'm going to be discussing this in much greater detail in a short while. But I do want to point out that we'll only be running the launchpad phase on the call today. And obviously the reason there is because then I believe it's going to be Carlos, one of our wonderful engineers, will be seeding some data onto the network. At which point, when that's completed, we'll activate the liftoff phase and notify everyone in Discord. So it's going to be a split. There's going to be some things happening on the call right now, and there's going to be some things that we're going to take async into Discord afterwards. And then, of course, it will be up to all of you out there to reach escape velocity and break that space race target that Daria is going to set. Okay, exciting. First up, we're going to need a proof of time entropy seed, which we have been grabbing from the latest Bitcoin blocks recently. So that's been working well for us so far. So I'm just going to, hopefully you can see my screen here. So we're on a Bitcoin block explorer. And let's give it a quick refresh, make sure we've got the latest block. Okay, so apparently it's 867,028. And if we click in here, we can get the hash, which I'm going to copy. And I'm going to pop that into our chat. So that is there for Daria. And I'm also going to pop it into our public chat, guys. So hopefully that will pop up on our streaming platforms. So yeah, block 867028 is the hash of that Bitcoin block is our entropy seed. Okay. So now that we have our randomness seed, Daria is going to set the configuration for the infrastructure and bring that up. So for those who don't know, the proof of time network is how we avoid long range attacks. So it means that you can't try and fake a chain based on just storage alone. Proof of time means you have to, storage and compute, you have to actually prove that you've spent the same amount of time, which obviously makes it much trickier for an attacker to try and affect the network. How's it going, Daria? I feeling like
It's trying to bring things up. They're actually starting to show up. So the farmer's up, and it looks like your timekeeper is also up. So things are going up.
okay.
Yeah.
That's
Let's
awesome.
wait until it gets a first block at least produced, to declare something. But if you want to show people things going up, I guess you could.
So yeah, so we discussed this earlier. So I'm going to show. Let me just switch what window I'm going to share here. Okay, bear with me. And so what you can see here is we're not going to do we're not going to tempt fate and run another kind of terminal from the timekeeper. But what we do have here is some logs being shipped to Grafana, and what you can see is if we scroll down a little bit, you can see nodes coming up. Obviously, the logs are upside down, probably to what you're used to seeing. But yeah, this is looking really solid, isn't it, Daria? I can't see any problems like last time.
I mean, there's one problem that says 0 peers. So let's give it a little time um, to bring together. Let's just give it a little time. You know, we have to be patient here.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we just wait for, we're looking, of course, here we can see idle 0 peers. We're just going to wait for the network, everyone to start talking to each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So once they do start talking to each other, we're going to be waiting until we see a block produced. Is that right, Daria?
Yeah, let's do that. And after that is, well, block production is going. I'm gonna let Carlos know that he can start putting in some data, and then other people can start connecting, and we can start distributing that data. Be advised though that this is different than the other time because we are going to be seeding data the same way that we are going to be doing that on mainnet. So if you join like right away, expect replotting because the data is going to be going up and the segments are going to be added. So, you know, there's going to be way more replotting than there usually is in a normal operation because we're going to put a bunch of data. Then after we're done, you should see way less replotting. So, you know, be advised that that is going to be happening.
So I fondly remember, I believe it was Gemini 3G. I think it was the penultimate network, where we seeded a small amount of data, and then it kicked off lots of replotting, and we had lots of people kind of asking questions about, oh, why do I need to replot? This is painful. So yeah, we're trying to walk a balance, aren't we? We need people to be able to sync quickly at the start of the network, but we also want to try and mitigate replots to a certain extent. And obviously that seed data that we're going to be putting into mainnet is all the wonderful submissions that we had in the Genesis data contest, and a few little Easter eggs as well, which I don't want to, we're
you
going
can
to
see now the peer count is going up. So so peer count is going up. I think it's fine. Now we need to wait a little bit for the first farmer to produce a block. And yeah, if people want to join, they will be able to soon when the team is going to paste you what is the build and what are the commands to join. And then you would need to specify the proof of time. Right now, just please wait a little bit for my peace of mind, you know, so that I know that I don't have to restart it or something.
okay.
Exciting.
It is exciting.
I know, like reading logs. Ooh. Oh.
This is looking good. So we should probably say that we did do a test run earlier, and it went absolutely as smooth as butter. But yeah, what we don't want to do is, so I'm poised, ready to share the build. I can see some questions in the chat. What build do we need to use? In just a few moments, we are going to share the build that you need to download. So you're going to be able to download your node and your farmer executables. And we're also going to give you the command, which you're going to need to modify very slightly. So we've just got an entropy placeholder in the command for the node. That's where you need to provide it on the node command line parameter. And I notice also, it's very exciting, Daria, is the chain that we're using. It's not Gemini 3 something. It's not DevNet. It's something new, isn't it?
Yep, it's now Taurus, and we hope it is going to be the permanent testnet. Let's see if it will, if it will start producing blocks, maybe. Oh, yes.
They say
We did a test run and it did. So I mean, it should. Maybe it's getting like shy that we're just like all looking at it, But it usually does take a few minutes. It's just like when you're on a live call, minutes seem a lifetime.
right. It does seem
Yeah.
longer now.
I mean, if you wanna switch
Oh,
plotting. Oh, it is plotting, so it is alive.
oh.
Okay, so it's gonna start farming soon. Okay, that is a good sign. Yeah, but if you wanted to switch topic, you could. I don't know if people are as excited as we are just looking at logs. I am certainly.
Sure,
Uh,
sure. So we could quickly run over then what we are.
yes,
Oh,
yes, it is. Here
okay.
it is. Yeah,
See,
yeah. Now you can switch.
as, as soon as you
As soon as I
stop.
gave up, it's always like that.
Okay, guys. I mean, it doesn't get much more exciting for us than seeing this network life breathed into it. So let's get you guys underway. You're comfortable now for us to invite our community in to start farming with us, Daria?
Yes. Well, they're not going to be able to start farming though, because they'll be able to connect their node and start syncing. But we're not going to be enabling farming right away. We're going to let Carlos take a couple of hours to see the data. And then we're going to kick off Space Race and enable farming for everyone. So if you're not producing logs, that's not an error yet.
Okay, guys. Oh, that's not formatted very well, I'm afraid. Okay, so if you have Discord open as well, I'm going to provide a slightly nicer version of the node command there. And the farmer command is, I'm sure everyone knows their farmer commands. Although we're always happy to look if you're having problems, of course. So that is the farmer command. Again, these are in the event chat. Channel on Discord as well. So if you're struggling, is there a Docker container? I think they do get built.
Yeah, they are in that page. You have to, I mean, you have to look in with your GitHub because it is like a development build that we're doing internally. But if this all goes well today and we bid the space race, we're gonna then release probably like tomorrow, Friday, a proper build like you are very used to with Gemini 3H, with all the things that are packaged inside, so you don't have to specify proof of time and all of that. But like, let's finish this experiment today, and then all the other good things are going to follow.
Absolutely. So if you did want to pull the Docker container, hopefully you're familiar enough. You're going to have to put in the commit and prefix it with SHA, which I'm going to put in the chat here as well. That's a little bit technical, but if you're a Docker wizard, hopefully you understand what we mean there. You need the image that you can find in the build folder there. Yeah, we were kind of assuming, I guess, that people were going to run bare metal to start with. Okay, so I think we're underway, aren't we, Daria? Is there anything else for us to do at this point? Oh, you're muted.
People can start connecting if they want. Carlos will be starting sitting when he's ready, and we then, in a little while after you're done with all the other topics that you have for the community for today, can check maybe how much data there is and how many people there are, and hopefully it is all right.
Okay, yeah, so we are underway and we will be back. I'll let Daria go for a minute. She's very busy at the moment prepping for mainnet, of course. And of course, finally, it's before we close this section out, it's a reminder that our mainnet phase 1 launch plan is evolving based on what happens today. So hopefully everyone out there, you are still paying attention. I imagine you're scrabbling around setting up your node and your farmer command. but yeah, we want to see a successful Taurus launch here. And of course, that's a great point to end on as we segue into the latest news, sorry, on our planned launch schedule. Okay, I missed a slide there. That was from last week, of course. We don't need to. We know what's going on. Okay, so a launch timeline update here. Time to talk about our anticipated timeline. As we get closer and closer to being ready for launch, the feedback loop of testing and adjusting is getting tighter and tighter. This has the effect that we get an increasingly clearer picture of when exactly we're going to be ready. As we've repeatedly stated, our target dates are just that, targets. Targets which are subject to modification based on our testing, preparation and rehearsals like the Nano Space Race and today's Micro Space Race, of course. We have been aiming for Mainnet Phase-1 launch on October the 30th. Our recent DevNet testing, which has been happening in the background through last week and over the weekend, and I have to give a shout out to all the team burning the midnight oil to ensure things go off as smoothly as possible. It's been a little bumpier than we'd like in an ideal world. Some issues only present themselves on small networks, such as our DevNet, while other edge cases are only apparent when we test the network at scale. And the bootstrapping phase, where a lot of space floods onto the network, is another scenario we would like to be really, really happy with. And taking all of that into consideration, we want to spend a little more time evaluating the launch and performance of this Taurus network. We will launch Mainnet Phase-1 when it is and we are ready. We would be remiss in our duties to jeopardize the mainnet launch by trying to hit a target date that we have repeatedly explained is dependent on successful testing. So we are adjusting our best case scenario launch date by pushing it back by 1 week. This means that we are now targeting launching no earlier than the 6th of November. In the grand scheme of things, this is a pretty small adjustment, and we hope that everyone understands that we have to act in the best interests of the network. We are as eager as you for us to launch. But in the meantime, what can you do to help us ensure we hit this new target? Well, first off, you can leave your Micro Space Race nodes up for us. Remember, this is the launch of Taurus, our new persistent testnet. You can also ensure that you have your ports forwarded. This really, really helps the network during its initial phases while all the data is being shared. And you can bear in mind that the Micro Space Race outcome directly informs our analysis on when we are ready for launch. Daria, I'll bring you back. I'm not sure, is there anything you want to add there? Is there anything I've missed?
I think you got it right. Yes, we are like really, counting very last few items. We're counting not days and hours here to see it all go well. And we are anxious. I am as anxious as I have ever been, but also as excited. So, we want to make sure it all goes well. So let's, please be patient. We are doing our best.
Absolutely. And yeah, we don't take the decision lightly. We've been agonizing over this, and obviously we're constantly presented with new information. We make the estimates based on the information we have in front of us at the time, and we think it's the sensible thing to do here. It's only 1 week, guys, and of course it does mean that we can run Big Bang for another week as well, which is wonderful. Okay, Daria, thank you. I kind of shocked you there by bringing you back. I'm impressed that you were able to react so quickly. Thank you.
I'm listening to you.
Wonderful.
Your magical voice.
You're not off sort of spinning up your farmer node.
I was.
Oh, okay. Right. Well, I'll let you get back to that because I want to talk a little bit more about the space race, the mainnet space race. It's quite a complicated thing, guys. So let's unpack it a bit and try and really get into what's going to happen. I want to make sure that everyone understands why we're running these test space races, what the mainnet space race is going to look like. So let's answer a few questions. So first of all, what is a space race? The space race is a pivotal event marking the live launch of the Autonomous Network mainnet. As you are likely aware, our proof of archival storage consensus gets stronger as the total amount of plotted space on the network increases. Launching our network, our mainnet, is a tricky business, and the network could be vulnerable to attack during the cold start situation it presents us with. This challenge will be overcome with the space race. It is designed to establish secure, decentralized consensus across the network before rewards are activated. Farmers will play a crucial role in this process by contributing storage and computational resources to help bootstrap the network during its most critical period. Unlike previous testnets, this will be the live environment where every action contributes directly to the success of the mainnet. The space race will be a global community-driven effort with farmers racing collectively and collaboratively to achieve the target amount of space pledged. Of course, everyone's trying to hit that space race target. The entire network's health, stability, and future scalability rely on achieving successful consensus. And our farmer community's contributions ensure that the autonomous blockchain is secured by real, decentralized participation. Decentralization, of course, one of our absolutely core values. Okay, so what are the phases of the space race? Our mainnet space race will follow the same pattern as our mini, nano, and micro space races. It's interesting that we got it so right back at the launch of Gemini 3H with our phases. We haven't had to adjust them. So again, it's going to be launchpad, liftoff, and escape velocity. We're going to drill into those, and a reminder, of course, that we're running launchpad on the call right now. Okay. So launchpad, which has got the wrong tentative date on it. It looks like I've picked up an old slide pack there, which is annoying. The tentative date is 2024 11/06. So launchpad, the mainnet chain spec will be built, but no one will be able to get started on the new network just yet. There will be a proof of time seed ceremony using a particular Bitcoin block height to inject randomness into the proof of time feature, which protects the protocol from long range attacks by forcing malicious actors to expend an equivalent amount of time rather than just compute or storage, as we mentioned earlier. This is very important. And if you want to read more on how proof of time works under the hood, check out the Academy. At this point, everyone will be able to download and prepare the software as we're doing today, but they will have to wait for the Bitcoin block height to pass and the proof of time seed to be determined. Once it's available, farmers can provide it to their nodes specified as a CLI option, exactly as we've done today. And at some point after the seed ceremony, the mainnet chain spec will be updated so that the proof of time seed no longer has to be provided on the command line. The Subspace Foundation will bring the necessary infrastructure up to establish mainnet. The network will start with a Genesis farmer once we have the proof of time seed. This sole farmer will be run by the foundation and allows us to add seed data to the network. The seed data will be the initial blockchain history. And those of you who have been with us through testnet phases will understand the relationship between blockchain history growth and replotting. As I mentioned earlier, our aim here is to hit that balance between acceptable initial sync times and sensible replotting schedules. Remember, replotting is essential. It's how new data enters the network and is absolutely core to the protocol. At this point, farmers will be able to sync their nodes, but farming will not yet be enabled for anyone but the Genesis farmer. Plotting will be subject to constant replotting as the seed data continuously grows the blockchain history and triggers sector expiry. We don't know exactly how long the seeding will take, but we do invite altruistic farmers to start plotting as it will help the health of the network when we hit the next phase. Building plots this early will require a lot of replotting. There's no avoidance of that. But while painful, it is the optimal way to approach the new network from a maximum space plotted perspective. Essentially, farmers will have a head start if they join us on the bumpy road while we are seeding the data. And while on the subject of altruistic farmers, we would love to see those who are able to do so running timekeepers on Mainnet. This isn't currently incentivized, but you would hold a special place in our hearts and minds if you spare a fast call for the health of the network. And I really want to make an extra special appeal for timekeepers. I know Capybara's run one, I've seen him in the audience. That those who have access to the fastest calls available and can spare one for us, we really appreciate it. Starting a timekeeper with the network Genesis is our ideal scenario. If anyone wants help doing this, please reach out to us in Discord. We will be very grateful. Okay, I'm guessing the next slide also has the wrong date. Okay, so that's so again, unfortunately, this slide has the wrong date on it. It's the 6th of the 11th, and this slide will be 1 week after. So the liftoff phase is scheduled. So liftoff, this is the start of our space race. And after the seed data has been uploaded, we're going to set a target amount of storage pledged. We're going to announce the amount that will trigger rewards. Again, we expect this to be 1 week after phase 1. There will be a community event planned to kick phase 2 off, in which we will set an initial and target solution range. So that's very important. The solution range is determined by the amount of space pledged to the network. And at the same time, we'll enable block authoring by any farmer. At this point, it will make sense for any farmer who has not already done so to start plotting as fast as their rigs will allow them to. Remember that having the first sectors plotted on Mainnet is a great opportunity to earn rewards at the top of our issuance curve. And we will, of course, we will all be watching the space pledged growing anxiously as it gets us closer and closer to. Finally, we've got a date that's correct. Escape velocity, which is more of an event than a phase. For those of you who experienced the Ethereum merge, when the network transitioned from proof of work to proof of stake, there's going to be a familiar vibe to this phase. As the community will be responsible for hitting the target space pledged, we're not going to be able to accurately specify a time up front for when we reach escape velocity. It could happen at any point in time and at any time of the day. We're going to be watching, we'll all be watching our wonderful plotometers, more on that later, for updates on the progress towards our goal. And as we approach the final few terabytes and gigabytes, there will be another async community event in Discord, where we hope as many of our wonderful members as possible will join us for the final countdown. Once we hit the specified space pledged, which we calculate by measuring that solution range, rewards will automatically be activated and farmers will start to see AI3 accruing in their accounts. The space race will be over. So in summary, I've gone a little bit early there, sorry. In summary, the space race is an essential event for the live launch of the Autonomous Network mainnet. It consists of 3 phases: launchpad, liftoff, and escape velocity, with farmers playing a pivotal role in each stage to secure consensus and achieve network stability. By participating in the space race, farmers will not only contribute to the decentralization and security of the network, but will also be among the first to receive rewards for their efforts. This is what we have all been waiting for, guys. The tension is palpable as we home in on completion of our last few to-dos before being ready for Mainnet Phase-1 launch. Onwards, Autonauts. It is time to start populating the new frontier that lays before us. So stay tuned to our announcement channels for further details on how to join the space race and ensure your nodes are ready. And speaking of being ready, I jumped the gun. But speaking of being ready, it's time for the community team to give us an update on how things are going with our Big Bang initiatives. It's worth noting here that the end dates for these contests are relative to our Mainnet Phase-1 launch date, so they have been adjusted accordingly with today's updated timeline. And again, the slides had the wrong date. We'll correct that on the video later. But Ryan, can you kick us off? Do you mind taking it away?
What's up, community? Welcome to the Big Bang updates. So first, we're going to start with the meme contest. You know, this is my contest, so it's my favorite one. Knockout meme contest. You got to submit your best meme and battle your way through the tournament brackets to become the funniest Autonomys community member. Who's ready to bring their A game? Who's ready to be at the top? I am. Let's look at some upcoming submissions. So first, here are some great example submissions. Wow. I mean, the Big Bang Autonomy. You know, really funny stuff. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Next meme, please. Me setting up my auto ID on Autonomous to prove I'm a really human, not a cat with blockchain skills. So keep them coming. Keep the memes coming. As Jim said, the contest logistics are until a week before mainnet launch. And make sure that your submission is not offensive, because we will delete it and stop you from submitting more memes. And just to give a little preview of what you can win this little cool new legacy merch. This is the Columbia fleece jacket. This is one of our first samples. Just want to show you guys. And yeah, you can win this plus a shirt, plus a water bottle, plus a hat. So there's a lot to win here, a lot at stake, over $200 worth of prizes USD. So keep the memes coming, keep them submitting, and I'll wish to see your funniest memes. Off to you, Pradeep.
Hey, hello everyone. Well, that was fun, and that looks like a pretty appealing swag. But yeah, the meme contest is exploding. We're seeing really impressive creativity dripping in, and equally banging as part of the Big Bang event. For those who haven't heard the announcement before, the top 25 submissions will land on chain at the onset of the mainnet phase, which is an epic. Will constitute an epic high resolution artwork, forever secured in your own artsy spot in the Autonomous legendary history, while earning some juicy rewards. By the way, we're already seeing like 17 submissions last time I checked. And because this is more artsy, I avoided singling out anyone, but I already feel moved. And check it out, guys. Check it yourself. I already feel moved by the creativeness explosion of different styles, different materials, and you see the graffiti spray being used, sketching with marker pens. There's sort of wildfire extinguishers, splash wall paint. Pretty awesome. And all of this somehow evoking the blend of stories, cultures, which is equally powerful. We already sense the community passion here, the skills and the imagination, and we feel truly inspired indeed. Now, as we stand out today, we've seen the creation of a massive collaborative masterpiece in what we call the Autonomys canvas wall, with stories, cultures, and idea blending in very bold strokes. Now, this we still got time. The time remains to hit up our 25 account. We expect to obtain 25 images before we construct the wall, and for you to snag over 600 USDC in rewards and score a very slick Discord role. Now, so jump into it. The channel is Graffiti Wall on Discord. Drop your digital graffiti in the new forum post and let your art dazzle us. Like I said in the community, this moment belongs to you. Go grab it. Come on and play, boys.
Hello, everyone. So let's talk a little bit about the Legacy to Launch Rig Showdown. Is it okay, Jim, if I go ahead and share my screen?
Absolutely. I think you can just take over.
Okay, so what I did is I went through and I found all of our submissions and I just prepared them here to show everyone. I'm a little concerned because we only have 9 entries right now, and we have $600 in USDC up for grabs. So I know lots of you have hardware to show off. So let's just look at these real quick. I'm not going to really say names because some of these are just not possible for me to pronounce. But here we got one with actually some wooden cases, which I thought was pretty interesting. And let's see, we got another one here with some cool green lighting. And we got a rack one with a bunch of, let's see, some switches and some servers there. That's pretty cool. We got two more here, another server. And this one here is pretty cool because you can just put all those SSDs right on these cards. I thought that was interesting. We got another one here. This last image is actually pretty cool because it's the same kind of thing where you can put a bunch of SSDs on these little mini boards and stack them. I thought that was nifty. We got another one with some servers here, some disk arrays, and then another one with servers. Lots of people like putting things into racks, makes it nice and neat. And the final one I have is the cat one. Essentially, that's it, 9 entries. You guys really need to get busy and do some more. I've seen a bunch in the hardware channel, but come on, I know you can do it.
I do love the hardware contests. I love seeing everyone's ingenuity and their entries. I'm gonna have to invest in some sort of air duster, I think, before I can show off my kit. Thanks, Randy. Okay. Next up, we have Emil. Emil, are you going to talk us through the plotometer? I think you want to share your screen as well.
I'm going to start with the slides and then I'm going to share my screen as well. Yeah. Thank you, Jim. Hey, everyone. Yeah, really excited to see the first submissions for our ongoing contest, which is a space race plotometer. But just as a quick reminder of what this contest is about, this contest is about you using our SDK in order to build the website, which visually tracks the space race. So as Jim mentioned, space race is going to take us through a few different states until we reach the escape velocity, and when the rewards will be unlocked for everyone. And during these stages, everyone will be tracking the telemetry stats, everyone will be using Astral, but more of those. Everyone will be able to check like plotometers built by the community in order to see and visualize the process of the space race. And I'm going to share my screen and show you a few wonderful submissions that we already received. So the first one is created by Helen J. As you can see on this one, you can see the cool space kind of moon station, and the visual tracker of this total space pledge is this circle. I think it's really cool. Right now, of course, it's attached to the Gemini 3H, but when we launch the mainnet, all the projects they will be pointing towards the updated RPC for the most up-to-date network. Another one is created by the Bing Bang, and for this one, it uses the real cool image of the astronaut, going away from the camera, and you'll see that that the space pledge is being tracked in a horizontal way. You see the kind of this rocket just filling the gap here, the bar at the bottom. And the very last one is from the Hake Hardware, who's created the absolute fantastic website where the rocket takes off as we start the liftoff phase, and it goes through multiple states. It takes at least a few minutes to go over all of the states, so I don't want to spoil like the whole journey that the rocket takes over here. So feel free to go to the developer chat, find the link to the project, and find out what the journey has been to this rocket, because it really takes the scenic route. Yeah, as Jim pointed out, this contest is also kind of the date for the contest is also adjusted. And we're planning to run this contest until the end of the space race. So everyone has at least a few weeks to a month in order to participate, build their own website, build their own plotometers, and take a part of the contest. And just as a reminder, we have 500 USDC up for grabs for the best plotometer chosen by the team. And also, if you guess the escape velocity So when the end of the space race. So if you can guess the date where the rewards will be unlocked for everyone, you get a special prize, our legacy merch. Yeah, cannot wait to see your other submissions. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Emil. Some absolutely outstanding submissions that I've seen come through so far. So I think it's time, Daria, if you do, I haven't been able to follow exactly what's been going on, but could we do a quick micro space race check-in?
Well, we haven't gotten the space race yet. We're on seeding, but like I drop you the link here. It's a link to the Polkadot.js Explorer, and you can see there is some data being archived already. So we got 2 segments in so far, which means we're at about 500 megabytes. My plan was about to seed maybe like 2-3 gigabytes before kicking off the space race. So, well, it's going well so far.
Okay,
And I am
so
seeing on the telemetry, we already got 22 nodes. So like assuming everybody pledged like at least 10 gigabytes, I guess our starting for the space race is going to be somewhere around 200, which initially was kind of my target. So I have to really up my estimates.
I have just shared the telemetry link in the chat there, guys. Randy shared it in Discord. Thank you, Randy. So yeah, you can see the nodes and the participation. So once again, you guys, you're absolutely amazing. You're going to smash our target in short order once again. I've no doubt. Okay, but things seem to be going quite well. Checking logs everywhere. I can't see any errors. I can see that we've got some questions. So maybe it's time to hop into a bit of Q&A. Is there anything else? Have we missed dropping any information to our audience, Daria, before we do that?
Well, telemetry is going to be useful, and the Polkadot.js if you're really into following blocks. And that's when you will be able to see the rewards coming in, but I think it looks good. And given that the number of nodes continues to grow, it's 23 now while I've been talking, looks good. If people do have some issues, our team is going to help them. I know the common error is that people forget to specify the correct parameters, and those would be like different from last time. The chain, it was DevNet last time, now it's Taurus, so pay attention to that. And also the POT external entropy has to be specified correctly for you to be able to join the chain. Otherwise, you will be alone.
So the big things to make sure that you're on the right network are you need to be running the correct build from the version that we shared earlier, and you need to make sure that you've got that POT, the proof of time entropy value. The command that we shared earlier just had like a capitalized placeholder in case anyone's missed that. But yeah, it's looking relatively quiet. I see Vexer as usual helping out in Discord. But yeah, I can't see anyone who's kind of having major issues. Thanks, Daria. I'll let you get on for a minute. Right, okay, guys. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to get rid of those slides, and we're going to get the slides that we should have had. Unfortunately, our streaming platform cached the earlier version. So I just want to revisit this, which is the date on the original slide that I showed earlier showed the old target date. As I say, this is not a decision that we've taken lightly, and we really agonized over it. But the mainnet launch pad, so when we plan on doing this exact phase that we're doing today on the call for mainnet is now the 6th of November, not the 30th of October. I want to make that abundantly clear. And that means that the liftoff date, tentative date, so we run the seeding process, of course, and we expect that that's going to take around a week. So we're going to activate block authorship, which is what starts the space race, and set the we're going to set the solution ranges, an initial solution range and a target solution range, to kick off the space race proper. That's going to happen on the 13th of November. I apologize profusely for having the wrong dates. It was only like probably the most important bit of information in the slide deck. So again, I apologize. Let's get rid of those because we are going to fast forward right all the way to Q&A, guys. Okay, so I don't know if my helpers, my moderators backstage want to highlight any questions that we've had through the chat. Feel free to click one and it should pop it up on the screen. I'm going to try and go back to the start. I see it's wonderful to see so many of our international friends. I know that I've been trying to answer your questions. I must admit I've been using an LLM, which is a bit awkward to do on the call today. Thank you. Okay, so Destiny Jeremiah. Hello, when will the graffiti contest be ending? I don't need to repeat the question because everyone can see it. Wonderful. So the Big Bang contests are all have end dates relative to the mainnet launch date. So if you check the rules on the forum, you'll see that we describe the end dates for the graffiti wall contest, the meme knockout contest, and the Big Rig Showdown are all 1 week before mainnet. So that's now a week later. So up until today, the end date would have been today, but it's now going to be the 30th of October. And the plotometer is actually going to run longer because, of course, we're going to evaluate them through the space race as well. We're going to see those spaceships traveling through space. We're also going to see the plotometers. The scales increase as things happen on mainnet. Okay, I can see lots of greetings. Hello, everyone. Feel free, guys, if anyone else is my moderators want to pop up another question. Okay, I will try and come back and
Yeah, Jim, I scrolled through the chat and I wasn't able to find any other questions. I think that we got only one today so far.
Okay, let's check over in Discord. That's where we usually get the tricky ones from our farmers. Okay, so Dr. Gravity was asking about the entropy key. Okay, yeah, sorry, Dr. Gravity, we have shifted from Discord to YouTube. We certainly see more engagement over here. Actually, we're at 276 viewers right now. We're also on YouTube, on X and LinkedIn as well as YouTube. Okay, as I suspected, Vexer has mopped up all the questions over in Discord, guys. So I'm going to scroll right to the bottom. Has anyone got any questions right now? Okay, well, I can only assume that we've done such a good job of explaining how this all hangs together that I think we can probably move on, guys. But yeah, don't forget, of course, that you can ask us questions at any point over in Discord. We're always patrolling there. There's also lots of community help. I mentioned Vexar. We have a great ambassador program where the people are very welcoming and always available to help you. So I think really there's not a great deal to say apart from, fellow farmers and valued members of the Autonomous community, as we wrap up today's Farmer Office Hours, I want to take a moment to reflect on where we stand. We are on the cusp of something extraordinary, the launch of our mainnet. And while we've adjusted our timeline slightly, it's because we're committed to getting this absolutely right. Your understanding and support during this process exemplify exactly why this community is so special, and it is special. I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to everyone who joined us live today, especially those who are already participating in our micro space race. Your willingness to help us test, validate, and strengthen our network is absolutely invaluable. Every plot, every node, every piece of feedback brings us closer to our goal of a robust mainnet launch. As we move forward with the microspace race, we'll be continuing the discussion in Discord. Your experience and observations during this test will directly influence our mainnet launch preparations. So please do keep sharing your insights and questions with us there, as you always do. A few important reminders as we close things out. The Big Bang contests have been extended in line with our adjusted timeline. Thank you for the question, Destiny. This is your chance to be part of Autonomous history. The creativity we've seen so far has been absolutely incredible. Keep an eye out for the updated deadlines on our social channels. The community rewards audit, of course, is still ongoing. It's a crucial part of ensuring fair distribution at mainnet, and your participation in this process helps maintain transparency. So if you haven't checked your allocation yet, please do so on our wonderful Astral Rewards checker that Mark has put together for us. I've seen Mark answering questions, again, one of our wonderful engineers. Do mark your calendars for our mainnet launch party. That date, again, apologies for getting it wrong on the original slides. That date is planned for the 6th of November now. We will be sharing more details soon. You can expect plenty of hoopla from us around that date, as we get closer to it. And it's going to be a celebration of everything this community has achieved together. Finally, if you haven't already, follow us on Twitter. We are at AutonomousNet, and help us spread the word by liking and reposting our announcements. Every bit of engagement helps us as we gear up for Mainnet Phase-1 launch. Thank you once again for spending your time with us. Keep an eye on our socials for future announcements. As always, we look forward to seeing you at our next event. Until then, keep farming, keep questioning, and as always, stay connected. Thanks, everyone.